Okay, so I will be presenting you basically for the focusing in agenda for the filtration technology.
Sige po. Mamaya na lang, Sir Matthew, kung okay lang. O kanina pa po, ano pa po kayo di nakapag-convey?
Okay, so basically, give you an overview how the filtration technology was developed. It started in 1940, which is the filtration ratio is just started for 100 microns. So for the developing years, to give you a summary, the absolute filtration ranges to 1
Tutulungan daw?
micron to 2 micron just started 1990 due to the development
Baka may na yung ano niya.
of hydraulics.
Napupunta na?
Okay, applicable industries that we are working, of course, there's a power plant industry, for the steel industry, the paper industry. Most of it has hydraulics and lubrication systems. So we are all familiar for those industries that needs hydraulics and lubrication system.
Parang wala din namin. Stock open daw eh.
Why
Tanggalin
filtration?
natin sa ano?
Okay,
Akleto, saka
so
patalawin.
most of all siguro meron tayong mga motor or sasakyan that needs preventive maintenance na frequent, right, for the sasakyan, 10,000 kilometers. So it's very important na merong filtration. So why?
Layasan na natin.
Came from GE manufacturer, turbine manufacturer. According to them, 80% of all operating failures in hydraulic systems are caused by contaminating operating fluid. So basically, yan yung pinaka-general standards based from the expert turbine manufacturer. Next, what are the factors that affecting the fluid condition? Meaning to say, yung oil natin.
Kasi narita.
So, number one, maraming factor na ka-affect that need to consider. Okay, so number one is the external fluid blending or oil blending. Number two is the operating pressure, temperature and flow. And I think kanina, na-discuss to kanina, it affects also the condition of the oil. Additive behavior. Ngayon, may bago na ngayon na nakaka-affect sa condition, which is the electrostatics. Ito yung ESD. Oil type and oil quality. Lubricating features. Of course, nandiyan dyan yung paulit-ulit nating sinasabi na particulated solid contamination, component wear, gaseous contaminations or air, oil aging or varnish. So ito na yung mga nakikita nating bagong mga problema na experience na ng isang ng merong mga lubrication system. Water contamination, of course, the environmental influences. Okay, sources of contamination. So basically, kanina parang na-overview na to. I'll just give you a picture on how or where is the sources of contamination. Una, from the manufacturing side pa lang, meron na tayong mga contamination na possible can affect during the startup, like yung mga residues. Residues during the assembly. Meaning to say, it's very important to have a system flushing, lalo na sa mga bagong lubrication system and hydraulic system. Number three is fresh oil. So normally, fresh oil na nanggagaling sa tangke have a different cleanliness level that need to address before the startup. System contamination. Ito yung mga component wear, corrosion on oil aging. Ambient contamination during the maintenance repair, damage seals, and tank breathing. So this is our overview ng mga possible sources of contaminations. Next, types of contamination. We need to be very i-generalize na lang natin. So, number one is the solid contamination. Number two is the gaseous contamination and the liquid. So, just an overview. What is a solid contamination? So, madali lang identify to. So, ito yung mga particle talaga, no? Sand, fibers, weld splatters, yung products of oxidation, yung mga nasa ilalim na ng tangke natin. So, mapapansin natin, ito yung mga samples. okay, na kinokontrol natin. Okay, ito nakita natin kanina, I think Sir Randy kanina, binigyan tayo ng overview. His example is from the salt. Ito, to give you a proportion of the particle, at 70 to 75 microns, ang nakikita natin yung buhok. But then, if pinag-uusapan na natin yung maliliit talagang particle in which hindi natin nakikita, it ranges from 5 microns to 15 microns. Then, lubrication film is very critical. Kung mapapansin ninyo, ang lubrication film natin is about 1 micron. So meaning to say, it's very important talaga na matanggal natin yung particle sa isang langis para maging efficient yung lubrication. Okay, so just an overview. Siguro ma-imagine nyo kung ano yung particle na sinasabi natin, no? Next, for the solid contamination in which basically ito yung mga kino-consider natin na dapat wala sa isang hydraulic or lubrication system. Coarse particle having a 14 micron above. Of course, sudden failure of components ang nagiging resulta. May finest contamination tayo, 6 to 14 microns. Of course, ito yung nagkukos ng wear, inner leakage, control inaccuracy, valve blocking. So yung valve blocking natin, it results na mag-block doon sa mga solenoid valves natin na inclusion doon sa components ng hydraulic or lubrication system. Yung finest contamination naman, 4 to 6 microns, ito yung mga maliliit, it will result to sludging, ito faster oil aging. Okay, so I'll just show you some example of contaminated filter elements na pag tinanggal, ganyan na po ang itsura niya. Next is the gaseous. So pag sinabi natin gaseous, immediately ang papasok sa atin ay air. So air is also considered as a contamination sa langis natin. So normally, ini-eliminate din natin dito. Bakit? So ito ang mga possible causes and effects niyan. Mapapansin nyo, nag-iingay yung hydraulic system although in the high pressure. So that's the possible causes air. Kaya kung minsan nagbi-bleed tayo. Number 2, component damage. Normally sa cavitation, oil leaking or foam generation in the tank. Increase in temperature, unstable control mode, accelerated oil aging. So reduction of filter efficiency. It resulted also to changes in viscosity. So, reduced pump efficiency factor. This is the very important kasi kung minsan, during the troubleshooting stage, it's very difficult kung hindi natin ma-identify yung gas. So, ang daming nalilito nito pagdating sa troubleshooting. Okay? Next is the liquid particle. Okay, pag sinabi natin liquid particle, okay, so, ito ang pinakakalaban din natin. Water. So, water or water oil in the system refill. So, ito yung the third type of contamination that affects our lubrication or hydraulic system. Okay. What is the cause? Kung bakit nagkakaroon ng tubig sa system? So, naka-closed system naman tayo, di ba? So, magtataka tayo bakit nagkakaroon ng tubig doon sa langis. So, number 1 is the condensation or humidity inside the tank. So, it's very important to assess as well yung tangke natin. Possible cause is leaking from the coolers or piping. This is also, ito kasi madaling i-identify itong leaking on the cooler. So, immediately, talagang contaminated kaagad yung langis natin. Water ingression via ceilings or tank breathers. So, number 4 is inadequate machine cleaning. Okay, number 1 natin na condensation is, ito sir yung hindi natin masyadong nakikita, no? How condensation occurs sa isang hydraulic reservoir. Okay, so number 1, from the cold start kasi magkaparehas ang temperature sa labas at sa loob, pero pag once during the operation na medyo iinit yung tangke natin sa loob in which may space. Ngayon, yung dew point inside reservoir natin is tataas. So kung saan ang malamig na area sa loob ng tangke in which yung wall ng tangke doon didikit at pagko-convert ng water. Yun na yung condensation. Mas malala pa dito, pag once na nag-shutdown, lalamig yung sa loob ng tangke, yung vacant, kasi hindi naman puno ang tangke natin, di ba? There's a possibility na magkaroon talaga ng free water. Kasi automatically, pag lamig ng tangke, yung space niya, magkakaroon po ng condensation. That is why, for the huge tank, such as for the turbine oil lubrication tank, it's very important to address yung mga breathers. So, there's a lot of technology to address this because ito yung mga hindi masyadong napapansin na bakit nagkakaroon ng tubig sa tangke ay nakasarado naman. Okay? Next. Consequences, so of course, nagkakaroon tayo ng corrosion, reducing the dynamic viscosity, reduced film thickness, yung lubricity ng natin ng langis maapektuhan, kaya nagkakaroon ng metal to metal na sa lubrication system. Reduced oil service life, changing of oil composition, generation of acid oil aged products, increasing oil aging velocity. Of course, nandiyan dyan, nagkakaroon na ng generation of sludge. So, normally sa amin, ang nakikita naman unusual right now for this new technology is the varnish. Okay, so hindi ko na-discuss ko na to kanina. So, overview ng types of contamination. So, i-omit ko na yan. It's just the same. What is our solution? I will be giving a very brief solution na pwede at most of us already been familiar. Number one, for the solid contamination, of course, nandiyan yung filter. Normally, for all engineers na nasa planta is really very familiar of filter. I will be guiding you on how we select the filter. Okay? Task of filter. Ano ba ang task nito? Of course, pang filter. Mostly mga particle. Prevents failure in control mode, reduces downtimes due to maintenance. So, ito very generic na. Pag sinabi natin layman's term, pag may filter, just to filter the particle. Okay? How to choose a good filtration. Okay? Okay? So, how to choose a good filtration. So, ito pinaka-importante na medyo malaman natin. Okay. Ano ang mga pagkakaiba ng isang filter? So, we need to study because this is very important kasi nga problema natin, You need to identify as well that surface or depth filter. The filter material, structure ng pinaka-filter natin, number of filter layers. Of course, just to have a very good filtration result, we need to identify all of these factors na para maging efficient yung filtration natin sa isang system. Dirt holding capacity, element design. The flow direction is also very important. Collapse pressure stability, separation performance, and ito yung tinatawag nating iba-ibang klaseng micron rating depende sa langis na ginagamit natin. Material compatibility, pressure drop curve, manufacturing quality. So meaning to say, maraming pwedeng pagbasihan or isaalang-alang natin sa pagpipili ng filter na gagamitin. Okay. So, for ito, I'll just be very general, For ISO standard 16889, there is a standard to check the dirt holding capacity of the filter elements. This is maybe I consider this one of the factor to check what filter you need to use for those application, yung mga critical applications. Okay? So, overview, the higher the filter media, the better the filtrations, because later I will be discussing you what is the meaning of absolute filtrations. So So meaning to say, the higher the filter media, for example, for these filter elements that we are carrying, is having a 7 filter medias with different purposes. Okay? Okay. To summarize all, eto na lang, just to make simplify, ang kailangan natin sa pagpipili natin ng high quality filters for filter elements for the system, of course, number one is high beta values. Later, I will show you what is high beta values. Not only the value itself, but its stability. Number three, high dirt holding capacity. It's really very important because habang paklag na yung filter elements, nagkakaroon na sa effect ng pressure losses, no? Pressure drops. Low pressure drops. High collapse and burst pressure stability is also important. High flow fatigue resistance, excellent media compatibility. Kasi there are filter elements in the market that only using 2 layers with 2 basic filter media. So, okay? Okay, these three items that need to be considered is basically can qualify using the multi-pass test of ISO 16889. So what is this multi-pass test? To get, this is a sort of sorry. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so multi-pass test is ISO, basically came from the standard ISO 16889. So meaning to say, there is a known micron or particle size that is being ingressed doon sa filters, dito sa system na to, pinapapasok niya. Okay, so just to give you an overview, there are known particle microns with the numbers, kung ilan, 100 pieces, papadaanan siya dito sa test element, constant flow and constant pressure. Kung ano lang yung pumasok na filter elements, na may measure nila kung how many particles only ang nakalabas. So that's the beta value. So the ratio of the upstream number of particles divided by the number of particles downstream, that's the beta value. So meaning to say, if kokonti ang nakalabas, meaning to say, maganda ang beta value. So meaning the higher the beta value, mas maganda. Diyan pumapasok ang absolute filtration. So 10 microns dapat 100% ng 10 microns above dapat hindi makalagpas din sa filter elements na yan. Okay? Next, or I already explained it earlier. So the multi-pass filter efficiency data. So ganun lang yun, napakasimple. Okay, so low pressure drops. Important din yan. Kailangan ma-identify nyo the best low pressure drops. High collapse and burst pressure stability. So, importante din yan. Kasi po, meron po mga filter elements na medyo nagkakaroon ng ganitong scenario. Kung nakikita niya yung picture, no? So, ang collapse burst stability sa mga low pressure filter elements is 20 bars. So, yung collapse pressure. For high pressure filter elements naman is 210 bars. So ito ang mga iniiwasan natin. Pag meron mga filter elements at a certain higher pressure differential, nagbo-burst siya. So itong mga napagbasagan ng filter elements na to, there's a possibility na pumasok sa system. Kaya kailangan nating may identify talaga those three major na check items na binanggit ko po kanina. Okay, so for the collapse, low pressure element in high pressure filter. So hopefully hindi pa sa inyo nangyari because from my experience, meron po kami mga customers na nangyayari dyan, ano? Nangyayari yung ganyang filters. So, mamaya explain ko po further sa details niya. Next is for the gaseous contamination. Ano yung solutions natin? For gaseous so, okay. So, I'll give you some photos. Ito nangyari to sa Germany na nagkaroon ng tragedy due to the particle and water contamination sa isang transformer, no? So, based on the investigation, there was a leak or high water content. So, introduce ko lang from the transformer oil. So, meron mga filtration equipment for us. We have a transformer care unit which permanently induce or gas reduction, water reduction, and oil filtration at the same time. So, the purpose of this is for extended the lifetime and permanent monitoring ng transformer oil. Okay, so hindi ko na masyadong specific kasi napakahaba ng presentation na yan. So, the basic general lang is they reduce the gas, removing the oxygen. Of course, by removing the water, you can remove the oxygen. You continuously monitor and maintain the cleanliness level of transformer oil. Okay, for the liquid, ano naman yung sa water? So, for the fluid conditioning naman, so, ito yung mga basic, no? Number one, technology for the watering is the coalescence technology. So, they're using the filter media to, to ipunin niya into yung mga free water into droplets para madadrop sa isang basin para i-open na lang yung valve. This is a coalescence technology. The best technology for the watering is the vacuum dehydration concept, which removes the free, emulsified, and dissolved gases or dissolved water. So, meaning to say the technology is vacuum at the negative pressure, 50 to 60 degrees Celsius, yung tubig natin is nag-evaporate na. So, that's the technology of vacuum dehydration. Oxidations, ito yung oxidation, nabanggit na to kanina sa amin, we called it the varnish. So, ang varnish naman natin is that meron technology that can remove the varnish if varnish na talaga siya. But importantly, we need to eliminate the water and particle to avoid generation of this oxidation in our system. Okay, so we have the technology. So, ito just to be aware, for those copy elements that is manufactured on a low grade or standard may affect for our system. So it's very important talaga to identify or to study further what's filter elements applicable to your system. Okay, so ito yung mga sample, mga copy na filter elements. So that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Roland. Very insightful learnings about sources of contamination and filter technology. So now we will open the floor for our Q&A. So meron akong dito, questions, no, from our chat box. So siguro requesting lang our participants to turn